Welcome to Bible Bites channel. Typically, when mentioning the descendants of Adam and Eve, the first thought that occurs to people is the story of Cain and Abel. However, many often forget the other biblical accounts that describe the other sons and daughters of Adam and Eve. In this presentation, my focus will be directed towards the daughters born to Adam and Eve. Who exactly were these daughters, and how many were there? Drawing insights from sources like the Book of Jubilees, the Holy Bible, and ancient customs, I aim to delve into and elaborate on the lineage of Adam's daughters. If this subject has intrigued you, feel free to show your appreciation by liking and sharing your thoughts. Join me as we uncover this lesser-known narrative, the Hidden Saga of the daughters of Adam and Eve. An often neglected topic among theologians, biblical scholars, and those interested in religious texts is the enigma surrounding Adam and Eve's daughters. While many focus on the more prominent sons like Cain and Abel, the daughters of Adam and Eve, as revealed in Genesis 5:5, offer a fascinating dimension to their story. The scripture notes that after Seth's birth, Adam lived for 800 years, during which he had both sons and daughters, totaling 930 years of life before his passing. Although the Bible does not provide specific names for Adam and Eve's daughters, ancient Jewish traditions offer some insights into these lesser-explored characters. According to the Book of Jubilees, I will shed light on the names attributed to Adam and Eve's daughters within these ancient Jewish narratives. For those unfamiliar, the Book of Jubilees, also known as the Little Genesis, is part of the Old Testament Apocrypha. It recounts the creation of the world, the story of Adam and Eve post-fall, and narratives of various Old Testament figures, primarily from Genesis. While its oldest accessible manuscript dates back to around 700 BCE, it is believed to be a copy of an even older document. Although some scholars link the Book of Jubilees to the Book of Chronicles, suggesting Ezra as a possible author, the text itself claims Moses received its content through an angelic revelation on Mount Horeb. Despite debates on authorship, the text's significance in Israelite culture is undeniable, with multiple copies circulating among the populace. The Book of Jubilees references the Book of Enoch, another ancient apocryphal text widely known to early Christians. This interconnection emphasizes the importance of considering the Book of Jubilees in parallel with canonical biblical narratives. Returning to Adam and Eve, various ancient Semitic and Abrahamic traditions identify their first daughter as Avan, whose Phoenician Hebrew name signifies potency or vice. Avan was married to and the sister of Cain, bearing children to him, including Enoch, as detailed in the Book of Jubilees. The city of Enoch, constructed by Cain and named after his son, stands out as one of his post-banishment achievements following Abel's murder. While Avan is the prevalent name for this daughter in the Book of Jubilees, other texts like the Cave of Treasures refer to her as Kalima. This variation presents Kalima as Cain's wife and Adam and Eve's first daughter, according to these ancient narratives. According to various ancient Semitic beliefs, Azura is identified as the second daughter of Adam and Eve. She was married to Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, born following the tragic death of Abel. The name Seth, with its Hebrew origins, is linked to concepts of compensation or substitution. This is significant because in the aftermath of Abel's murder by Cain, Seth is viewed as a replacement, a divine compensation for the loss of Abel. He is portrayed as a righteous and devout descendant whose lineage, according to biblical accounts, continued the worship of God. Notably, Seth's lineage leads to Noah, a pivotal figure in the flood narrative, and the survival of humanity. Therefore, Seth and Azora serve as a crucial link in the lineage that connects the origins of humanity to later events and key figures in the Judeo-Christian tradition. The Book of Jubilees adds an intriguing twist by suggesting that Azura was initially married to Abel before becoming his widow. Once Seth reached maturity, he married Azura, and their union marked the continuation of Seth's lineage, with Seth becoming the founding patriarch of this line. According to the Book of Jubilees, Azura was born in the 6th week of the 4th Jubilee and wed her brother Seth in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee. In the 4th year of the 6th week, she gave birth to a son named Enos. As Enos matured, he wed Nom, his sister and the daughter of Seth and Azora, in the 3rd week of the 7th Jubilee. Enos, one of the sons of Seth and Azora, is renowned for his piety and dedication to the worship of God. Genesis 5:6-11 outlines his genealogy, detailing how Seth lived 105 years before having Enos and continued to have more children, living a total of 912 years. Enos, in turn, lived 90 years before fathering Canaan, and he also lived a long life, totaling 905 years. Enos is primarily remembered for his devotion to prayer and the invocation of God's name. Genesis 4:26 indicates a shift in religious practice, noting that during Enos's time, people began to call upon the name of the Lord. This suggests that Enos played a crucial role in fostering worship and spiritual seeking among Seth's descendants, marking a significant era of spiritual growth and religious exploration. So, according to the ancient Book of Jubilees and Semitic Jewish tradition, Cain married his sister Avan and gave rise to the lineage of Cain. Seth, on the other hand, married his sister Azura and gave rise to the lineage of Seth. You may have pondered the number of offspring Adam and Eve had, both sons and daughters. The biblical narrative hints at a substantial family, given Adam's long lifespan of over 800 years. Adam and Eve, known as the most fecund humans of their era, were remarkably fertile. Eve, being the first woman, displayed exceptional fertility, while Adam also bore this trait. Consequently, ancient traditions suggest that they welcomed a multitude of sons and daughters into their lives, numbering in the hundreds. In a more contemporary context, the Guinness World Records recognize Valentina Vassiliev as the woman with the most recorded children in history. Valentina passed away at 76, leaving behind 69 surviving offspring, with only 2 facing early mortality. Her 27 pregnancies resulted in 16 sets of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. While records mention other women with 50 or even 60 children, Valentina Vassiliev remains the documented record holder. Nevertheless, it's crucial to highlight that Eve's fertility reportedly surpassed even these remarkable numbers, establishing her as the most prolific woman in human history. If a woman today or in recent history could bear around 69 children, one can only imagine the fecundity of Eve, who lived significantly longer, reaching the extraordinary age of 900 years according to biblical accounts. Traditions suggest that Adam and Eve had a sizable brood, estimated to be approximately 70 or more offspring by some estimations, given their robust health, vigor, and fertility. Combined with the prevailing procreative norms of their time, it's plausible that they had hundreds of sons and daughters. Genesis 6:1 alludes to the proliferation of Adam's descendants, indicating the birth of many lovely daughters. A lesser-known fact is that both Adam and Eve's sons and daughters represented distinct ethnic lineages, stemming from their mixed heritage. This diversity contributed to the mosaic of humanity's ethnicities, which, despite the array of races and cultures, traces its roots back to Adam and Eve. The study of mitochondrial DNA, often referred to as mitochondrial Eve, reinforces this concept by illustrating that all of humanity shares a common lineage, despite the varied ethnic and racial tapestry visible today. Hence, the analysis of mitochondrial genetics underscores the unity of human ancestry, showcasing the richness of ethnic and racial diversity, while highlighting our collective link to our forebears. So, did you know the story of Adam and Eve's daughters? Feel free to leave your comments. Also, feel free to suggest new topics or characters from the scriptures that you'd like to see in a video. Thank you very much for watching up to this point. See you soon.